Payday, you want payday. I know that. Canelo Alvarez team, they just signed Marco Verde, an Olympian, and a silver medalist. He is set to debut on Canelo's next card. That's what I want to talk about in this video. Now, this is a silver medalist at super welterweight named Marco Verde, right? He teamed up with Canelo team, Eddie Reynoso, and Canelo Alvarez's gym. Eddie Reynoso will serve as his trainer and manager. And you guys see that right there. So I wanted to make this video kind of talking about my thoughts. For starters, this is a great pickup for Eddie Reynoso. You got a kid who's young, hungry. I mean, he's from Sinaloa, Mexico, so they speak the same language, Spanish. And Canelo is a face of boxing. So at the end of the day, I feel like this kid is probably inspired by Canelo. How could you be from Mexico, up and comer, and be in the age group that Marco is in and not, appreciate Canelo and what he's brought into the game? So this is a good pickup for him. Definitely a good pickup for him. I always, me personally, I always like to give credit to the Virgil Hunters or even Freddie Roach, where they have a fighter either A, from the beginning, like Virgil Hunter had Andre Ward from the beginning. So you can kind of reap the benefits, and the journey is kind of like both of y'all journey. Like, for example, there's certain guys, like even for Freddie Roach, let's say Miguel Cotto or Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado was with Billy Briscoe, and Cotto had Pedro Diaz and different trainers or whatever. And then later in his career, he might have went to the Wild Card Gym with Freddie Roach. So, yes, you're the trainer, so the fights under that gym you get credit for. However, I think it just hits different when you are the trainer that either started with the fighter, like you were the first person that they were rocking with, or you get them young enough in their career. Like I said, Freddie Roach with Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao did have a career in the Philippines before Freddie Roach, but he became infamous, and all of his big fights were pretty much with Freddie Roach. So we give credit there. So I like situations like what we're seeing here with Eddie Reynoso, where he has the opportunity to take a guy from obscurity and work with him fresh out the Paris Olympics and see what he can do to this guy. Now, this guy is also a Southpaw. They did a press conference in Mexico, Box Azteca. I believe Canelo has a distribution deal with them over in Mexico. So this is a big move, a power move. And one thing I do respect about Canelo, he know how to play the game. Like, he's a businessman for sure, to a fault. Like, obviously I want to see him fight David Benavidez. That ain't gonna change until he fight David Benavidez. But Canelo got cell phone community or cell phone companies. He has a lot of sponsors. He has a lot of like just investments that he's done. And now him and his team, because I'm going to link Canelo and Eddie, they're pretty much like 1A, 1B. So to me, Chepo, Eddie Reynoso, Canelo, that's kind of one unit. That's how I'm looking at it, because Canelo's still managed and trained by Eddie Reynoso. He's along for the ride, and they picked up this young Olympic silver medalist. Now, some people are like, oh, but Ego, he's not a gold medalist. He only has a silver medal. Well, let's talk about silver medalists. Amir Khan. Eesh. Look what Khan did for his career. Triple G. Hey, no, guys. Hey, Max is nothing. It's nothing. Tick. Hey, Max. Right? Triple G. A lot of fans like Triple G. He had a run for a minute on the HBO days. He's a silver medalist. Let's talk about some American silver medalists. Okay, Keyshawn Davis. What about Shakur Stevenson, right? So just because you get a silver medal, that's not a bad thing. You still beat out a lot of people in the Olympics. And we know in these gold medal matches, sometimes it's controversy, politics, the wrong person won. You know, like Anthony Joshua is a gold medalist, but if you watch his gold medal match, a lot of people thought he lost the fight. So there's politics. Speaking of politics, one of my favorite fighters of all time. Didn't I just say that? That's what takes some time. Roy Jones Jr., baby, and it's going to be that way, Pensacola in the hat. I wasn't chicken fight. I wasn't grabbing the rope. Ha, ha, don't do that. I said, don't do that. My boy Roy Jones got robbed in Seoul, Korea in his gold medal match. So he's a silver medalist. And the real deal, Evander Holyfield. So let's not slight silver medalists, right? Just because you may or may not like Canelo's team or whatnot. So I'm anxious to see. For me, you know, I'll keep it real. I'm the realest in the game. I don't know much about the kid, but being with the high-profile team, it's like when Tank was with Mayweather Promotions. You want to see what happens when you hear like a powerhouse team. It's like with 50 Cent. Hey, it's 50 Cent, G-Unit. Hey, Irv, make it hot. It's like when 50 Cent got with Shady, Aftermath, Dr. Dre, and Eminem. You know what I mean? You really want to see what becomes of that, right? So I'm looking forward to it. You know, high-profile team, see what the kid got. As of me recording the video, I don't know too much about his fighting style. I got to do my research. He's a Southpaw. I do know that. I know that. So, once again, Boxing Ego, where other content creators come to get their news to talk about it on their platforms. I tell you guys all the time, there is a lot of low quality content available in this game, the game of boxing. Poor audio, distorted audio, audio that's clipping, bad visuals, cheap thumbnails. It's like a lot of content creators, they don't even really talk boxing. It's a lot of gossip. You don't get videos like this where it's like an up and comer or something to be happy about. A lot of times it's negativity or drama or speculation on a fight and, you know, just a bunch of gibberish. That's why I use my channel the best way I know how and provide that high quality content in the world of boxing. If you like that, make sure you guys subscribe. But speaking of poor and low quality content, the reason Al Heyman is on the screen is because I made this graphic for you. It says pro boxing event Saturday, May 3rd, the weekend of Cinco de Mayo. You see it, T-Mobile Arena. I know some fans, they like, oh man, get to the point, Ego. No problem. Why did PBC, by way of TGB Promotions, who works with PBC, request May 3rd, Cinco de Mayo? You guys should see where I'm going with this. If they did not have a plan. Again, some people still don't get it. Let me bridge that gap for you. Speaking of low quality content, there is a lot of content creators that put out false narratives, said PBC is broke. That's one. Said PBC was going out of business. That's two. They said that PBC was bought out by Riyadh Season and Turkey bought the whole shebang. Not true. So my question is, Canelo, it appears that PBC is probably going to work on his next fight, henceforth why you see what you see on the screen, and they reserved that Cinco de Mayo date. This is my speculation. So this is not coming from a confirmed source, but you know, Boxing Ego is pretty accurate with these things. The fact that PBC requested this day and Canelo usually fights on that day, and they reserved a big venue like T-Mobile Arena, I really want to say that's for Canelo. Canelo fought last year with PBC, Munguia, Berlanga. He also fought in the T-Mobile Arena. So it looks like this September business is being booked for Canelo. We have to see ultimately what he decides. Here's another thing. In regards to this video, right? Canelo has a new fighter that is pretty much on his team. Rumor has it that he's going to debut because he came from the Paris Olympics, Marco Verde, right, with Eddie Reynoso on Canelo's card. So it all makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. You have a silver medalist, Olympian, who just signed with Canelo team and is looking to turn pro. Rumor has it he's going to turn pro on this card with big bro Canelo Alvarez. Again, it makes all the sense in the world, which leads me to my point about the low quality content. What's up with all the people that said that PBC was going out of business, this, that, and the third, right? Ask yourself these questions. Why would Canelo, if PBC is going out of business and there was a fear of that, or Riyadh Season purchased PBC, why would Eddie Reynoso and Canelo Alvarez take their silver medalist and then put him on a PBC card and do business with PBC themselves if all these things were true? For me, it's not really making any sense. So that's why I tell you all the time, if it didn't come from Boxing Ego, you might not want to believe it. Don't believe everything you hear. Don't believe everything you read, half of what you see. To me, if, let's say, Enron, I'm not bringing, business dealings to a company like Enron knowing that they're about to fold, right? You got this young silver medalist that you can do something with and maybe make into a star. Why would you do business with PBC if you thought everything was kaput? Why didn't you bring him to Turkey in Riyadh season? Why does PBC have May 3rd booked, which is a standard traditional day that payday, you want payday? I know that Canelo Alvarez likes to fight. These are the questions you have to ask. Again, there's a lot of low quality content. So what I've noticed in boxing is people will chatter and spread all these lies in the world of boxing and don't even have enough integrity or decency with their platforms to come out and be like, yo, I made that up. I was wrong. Again, I've seen it all. I've heard it all. People said Canelo was leaving PBC and he's fighting Turkey and PBC's out of here. They're out of business. To me, that's not making sense. Again, this is just my thoughts on my channel and speculation, but it doesn't make sense why you would take your investment to PBC if you were out of here and didn't want to do business with them. And you're fighting Crawford in September on Riyadh season, which is what you guys in the comment section were telling me. So a lot of loose ends. Ultimately, we'll know when Canelo Alvarez lets us know. But from the way I see it, it's not making sense. Holla at me. Let me know your thoughts. What happens next? Shout out to Reynoso for the pickup. And I'll be taking a look at the kid. Pause. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out.